figure it out?
They did it. Hold on.
Sorry, guys.
Incoming.
That was my goof.
It's okay, buddy.
Wait, what happened?
Please don't tell Aaron or Brent.
Matt blew it.
No.
Did he blow it
Hey,
again?
welcome to a very special episode of this. This doesn't even have a name. It's
Welcome to Game Grumps.
Yeah, why not? It's Danny.
Hi, welcome to Game Grumps with no gameplay in the background because the Elgato's not working.
That's right. It's Danny and Finn. Aaron is on his way to Japan, so he couldn't be here.
Yeah.
And our video capture isn't working, so we can't see the fact that Finn's playing Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I'm playing Tony Hawk and I'm crushing it.
Yeah, just take our word for it.
Take our word for it.
Wow, sick 360 kickflip,
Thanks,
dog.
man. And I also love people. So there you go.
And yeah, so
pause it.
we were like, what the fuck are we going to do? And
So,
we were like, maybe we'll just chat for a minute.
podcast, yeah.
For fun.
So
So you were at the Emmys yesterday.
it was.
How was that shit?
It was interesting.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's really cool.
Really?
But well, I mean, it's cool, but like it's also at the same time, it's like, you know, you kind of just sit down and lose for a few hours. So, it's, you know, like it's very like participation medal.
Yeah.
Like it's more for publicity than anything, which is
Sure.
You know what you have to do. You gotta do it. You know.
Are you having fun? Are you having
Yeah.
fun? And, like, your career is nuts, dude.
Yeah, it's been crazy so far. Is this close enough? Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Yes.
Cause like yesterday was kind of like this weird day for both of us. Cause like
Yeah, because you did Conan.
yeah, I was on fucking Conan O'Brien show.
That's insane. Did you meet him?
Yeah, he's super nice.
Was he cool? Did he like everything? Do you
Yeah.
know?
Yes. Well, it was a weird experience for us because we had never done anything like that before. Feel free to keep playing Tony
Okay.
Hawk.
Yeah, keep going.
We had never done anything like that before, and anytime you do something for the first time, there's
Obviously nerves.
There are nerves involved.
Well, that's why I get anxiety the most. It's stuff that I don't expect. It's
Yes.
like what I get anxious about is like, okay, I don't know what to expect out of today. You know,
because what I was saying to the
if I don't have a schedule for my life, then I'm a fucking nightmare.
right, because like the people. The Conan studio is maybe like 100 people, 150 people.
Right, but it's like perceived as this insane amount of people.
Well, that's the weird thing because like NSP's done shows where, I mean, there's a lot of people, like the Aragon's like a 5,000.
Right. Well, so as we were talking about the Atlanta theater, which is an
the
insane amount of
Tabernacle,
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, it's a big room filled with people, and that was scary at first. But
Right.
like,
then you just have fun. You forget that there's even people there.
yeah, and you're used to it because at least you can look in the room and be like, okay, that's how many people I'm performing for. But like with the Conan show, it's very weird because you look at those cameras and you're like, I have no idea how many people are watching
exactly.
this.
It's what not to expect.
Yeah.
You ever read that book?
Nope.
It's about pregnancy. What to expect about not expect. What is it? Whatever. It's just Cameron Diaz. They made a movie about it.
Oh,
Isn't that cool?
What to expect when you're not expecting?
Yes.
I remember that. Excuse me.
Nice.
I'm sorry.
Nice, man. Super cool.
Yeah, what's up, Chinese food? How you been?
Ooh.
Haven't seen you in a minute.
Yeah, subpar Chinese food from.
But yeah, Conan was rad. He, like, so when we were this weird kind of like.
Because you were there with Twerp.
Yeah, and we were all nervous, but we didn't know that we were nervous, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because like on the surface, we were all chill and fine.
But on the inside, you were screaming.
Well, not even that, because like we felt like we were fine, but then right before we went on, like I went to sing and my voice is all like,
yeah.
And I look, and Brian said he looked down at his hands and his hands were shaking.
Oh, weird.
And so like after like maybe the first like right after that first like line or two, like you just take a breath and then it was much easier. But yeah, for 20 seconds, it's just this total feeling of like floating there and you don't know what you're doing.
Hey, little Dan. Hey, can I take that again? Hey, little Dan.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
but you
little
can't.
Dan.
You can't take that shit again.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
When you did your first
Talk show?
Well, Stranger Things was your first gig, right?
Yeah. First big thing.
When they had like all the cameras on you for your first scene that you shot, were you scared?
Oh, yeah. For the first I would say 2 weeks of shooting Stranger Things, I would have diarrhea every morning.
I had some nervous poops too, man.
Dude.
Oh God,
every
I know.
morning. But you know what? It didn't upset my stomach or anything. It was just like, you know how Aaron shotgun shits?
Yes.
It was like that.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, I just need to do it in order to get the day done.
Yeah, no, because it's just...
Sometimes, hey, everybody out there, sometimes you just got to shit to get the day done.
It's so true.
You know?
Well, it's just your body, like
fight
going
or flight,
haywire.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And,
so interesting.
Yeah, I had the most Finn night 2 nights ago. It was, I mean, which I've told my friends about, and they think it's the most Finn night ever because it's like all of the cliches of my personality.
Mm-hmm.
I got in, like, my plane was delayed, and then I got in at like 2:30, and then I ate a bunch of spicy food, and then, I was like, my stomach was starting to feel weird. I was like, oh, that's weird. My stomach feels weird, and then I had a panic attack because I was afraid that I was gonna get sick, and then I did get sick because of the panic attack.
Dude.
So it was the most Finn night of all time.
I remember when we first met, which was maybe like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so you were 13.
Yeah.
God, super young. So like I remember when you said, yeah, man, I my anxiety is acting up. And I was like, you've got anxiety at 13? Like,
well, that's the thing is that so you didn't have anxiety when you were younger?
No.
Or you didn't know what anxiety was?
I didn't have it because,
Well, that's, you know what? I will say, I had, my anxiety comes up when I don't want to do something, basically.
Right.
Is that, like, when I'm forced into something, so, like, school for me was, like, hell.
Yes.
Elementary school. So, like, that was really, I was, like, the most anxious kid ever.
Wow.
When I was like preschool up to maybe grade 7, and 7th grade, I was homeschooled, so I didn't care about anything. So that's the period. I had 2 years where I just wasn't anxious at all, which was great. And then I started doing a lot of stuff, which got the anxiety back. But like I've always had it, and it's never gonna go away. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like. Well, I've had it since I was born.
I rember, like, I was like, I can't believe you have anxiety.
Maybe just Maybelline.
Yeah, I can't believe you have anxiety at 13, and you were like, oh, it's crippling. It's like, holy shit, dude. But that's the thing, because, like, to be honest, man, like, the world was different, too, when I was a kid. Like, there were no cell phones.
The 30s, right?
Yeah.
Back in my day, no one had a cell phone. They had a telephone and a wire.
There's what, like a 24-year difference between us, I think. 23.
How old are you? 38?
I'm 39.
39.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but in that 24, that's not a normal 24-year difference, like, because in that time, like, the internet was created.
Oh, yeah.
Like, cell phones became a thing. Like,
AIM was through the roof.
not even. There was no.
I know.
There was no such thing as America Online.
America Online, the worst place on earth.
It's crazy.
You've got mail.
Yeah, and just the idea of.
You on MySpace or?
Yeah, I'm on MySpace.
Sick.
Fucking bro, I got my pager. Hit me on the hip, bro.
Yo, beat me. Straight up, beat me. I got fucking beeps all day, every day.
It's so bizarre. But yeah, like, and I think that contributes a great deal to anxiety among, like, very young people. There's that tweet that's so famous and so perfect where it's like, I can't imagine why I have anxiety. I just stare all day into a device that beams nightmares into my eyes.
Yeah, it's exactly. I mean, well, it's also exactly. Well, yeah, you're right. It's like kids. Well, another thing that has to do with Stranger Things is that like the characters that I play, like we're out independently, and our parents are like, we're gonna go, and we'll probably not see you for a few days. I'm gonna go sleep over at my friend's house. I'll see you.
Right.
Okay. But now it's like, I'm gonna go down the street and I might get killed. Can you come with me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it was so much more independent back in the 80s, like, is what I've seen.
Well, I mean, like, the shit that we used to do, like, I feel like you just don't
crazy.
Yeah. You just go trick-or-treating for, hours and hours and hours and go to, like, weird parts of town.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
Strangers would be like, come in, get some candy. And we'd be like, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was fun.
love razor blades.
You know what? I believe I read that there was no, there's actually no, it's all an old wives' tale. There's no evidence that anyone ever put razor blades in candy. It just, like, was a misreported news story that, like,
and now everyone...
everyone's heard it.
Right. And no one's... it's like do you know the Mandela effect?
Aaron's talked about that, but I can't remember what it is.
It's like you remember something that you think happened, and then you realize, and then it didn't happen, basically.
Right.
So you're like the basic example is like, do you remember this, like, which I don't know if I don't believe it, but I think it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember, like, do you remember the movie Shazam with Sinbad?
Of course I do. Greatest
It's
film.
not real.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was thinking
fucking break it to you,
I was
dude.
thinking of Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal.
Exactly. Okay,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
that's the real movie.
Okay.
People remember it as Sinbad in this movie called Shazam.
Boy, you know what? You're totally right.
And it's not. But really what it was is people are like, it's Mandela effect, but I'm like, no, it's just Photoshop. So that's cool.
Wow, that's nuts.
Because they just photoshopped a picture of Sinbad in a fucking genie costume.
And you're like, yeah, that's something Sinbad would do.
Yeah, Sinbad's definitely a genie. Have you seen his comedy specials? Genius. I actually don't know anything about Sinbad.
He's been around a long time, man. He was around when I was a little kid.
Do you know Gallagher?
Yeah, of course. Gallagher was huge when I was a kid.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
My friend Josh and I talk about it all the time. And it's genuinely interesting.
Because now he's mostly known as a crazy person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like he's not, like, if you watch it again, if you watch a stand-up again from, like, you know, whatever, the 70s or 80s, he'll, like, he was known as the best stand-up comic in the world.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
There is no stand-up comedy. If none of you know who Gallagher is, he's a guy that takes a sledgehammer on stage and different kinds of foods or anything.
That's right.
Cans of paint, whatever. And he smashes them in front of people. And people go fucking insane.
Bro, when he'd...
And he would go like, you want to see me smash the water bottom? Everyone would be like, yeah! He'd be like, no, you're not ready. You want to see me smash it? And everyone's like, yeah! And he smashed it and everyone's like, oh my God! And anytime he would ever make a joke, it would only be racist. Which is crazy.
Is that right? I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. It's like the most racist, like not even really funny, like just genuinely racist. And like, you know what I mean? Like, and you know, not that like racism is funny, obviously, but like there was no setup or punchline. It's just him saying something racist and everyone dies in hysterics.
Laughing, yeah.
Everyone thinks it's hilarious, and it's so interesting to go back and see that he was the biggest comedian of that time. It's insane.
Well, because the sledgehammer thing was his closer. And
right.
Like, so when he'd bring it out, he'd like be all cocky and he'd have it over his shoulder. And yeah, and people are like, it's like the Beatles.
Right.
Just walked out on stage.
Have you seen the movie Windy City Heat?
No.
Oh boy.
What is it?
Okay, there's a movie called Windy City Heat, and it's two guys. One of the guys in the group. There's three guys, and they're all kind of they're all best friends from wherever, like New Jersey or whatever.
Right.
And one of the friends actually has some pull in the industry. He's actually like a comedian, and he's been messing with. Two friends have been messing with the one friend ever since they met. So they've been pranking him ever since they met.
Right.
And so they make a thing up because he has all these connections where they make him think that he's the lead character in an action movie called Windy City Heat.
Okay.
And they have Bobcat Goldthwait play the director as himself. And everyone's in on it except for the guy being pranked. And it's from like 2004. And he is like an egomaniac, and so immediately it's amazing because like you want to see him get tooled with.
Fail, yeah.
Right. So it's like an incredible setup, and they just mess with him for 3 months straight. And,
oh my God.
And they have real celebrities in the movie like playing themselves.
I friggin' love it.
And so like they'll be like. They do this thing where they keep throwing him in a dumpster over and over again as a stunt because he said he wants to do his own stunts.
Right.
And he has this crazy voice, and they're like, "All right, let's do it again," and they're like, and Bobcat Goldthwait goes, I don't know. I think there should be more shit in the dumpster, and he goes, "Oh, like more styrofoam? No, like actual shit.
Oh
like we
my
need dog
God.
shit," and they put manure. All like inside. He's like, I'm not gonna do my own stunts anymore. And they're like, you're not gonna do them? And he's like, no, I'm never gonna do my stunts anymore. And the next day he comes in and they're like, all right, everybody, it's a sex scene. And they have this really, really like hot actress come in.
Right.
They're like, bring the stunt guy in there. And it's this giant fat guy. And he's like, no, I want to be the stunt guy.
Oh man.
And it's the most genius shit I've ever seen.
It kind of reminds me of well, did you see The Disaster Artist?
Yeah, it's very like room-ish.
Yeah.
Like
It was brilliant. I saw it on the plane.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie isn't. I mean, I don't know if you've seen The Room, like the actual movie.
I've seen enough.
No, you need to
clips.
watch it
All the way through.
all the way through. I thought the same thing, and then my friend had it, and I was like, "What the hell? We'll just watch it." And it's so different. It's a completely different experience.
It's hard. It's hard to get through. Like
It's
for me.
not.
No.
It's not.
Like I'll get.
Trust me.
I'll get past the cringe.
Like they do this thing where they use the same stock footage of San Francisco every time. So you'll feel like, oh my god, how much San Francisco are they gonna fucking use?
There's so much unnecessary green screen
It's
in that movie.
insane. And they're like, yeah, they use film and digital.
Yeah.
So let's use it both. It's so genius.
Well, because like when I saw that in The Disaster Artist, I was like, oh, that's why it looks so fucking weird.
Yeah, because it's completely like the aspect ratios are messed up when it comes out.
So bizarre.
Yeah, I think like those movies are. I think that they're so amazing.
Speaking of movies, do you watch the Red Letter Media guys?
Yeah, of course.
I think they're my favorite thing on YouTube.
Yeah, they're really funny. I don't watch them as much as Nick does.
Right.
But I love those guys. I think that and I like them because and I don't know if you watch Your Movie Sucks as well.
Yeah,
he's kind of in the
it's
same
great.
vein. He's hilarious. He's from Vancouver actually.
Oh, cool.
And they're just super funny dudes. They're like so honest.
That's
I love what they said about it.
I didn't hear it.
Well, yeah, they were just honest dudes. They're like, well, we liked for what it is, but like, we don't like the source material. So I was like, fair enough. Thanks, guys. Like, that's really cool of you to even review it. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah,
it was cool of them to be honest. They're very honest guys,
dude. Especially like when for someone in a position like you are, where everyone is constantly kissing your ass, and like in a gross.
No, it's very interesting. Yeah,
in a gross way,
For
it must
sure.
be very refreshing to just be like, cool, thank you.
Yeah, like a genuine opinion.
Yeah.
Like cool. I mean, thanks, like for your input. I
No,
mean, like
they don't give a fuck.
no, they do not. Have you
great.
seen their Double Down review?
No.
Oh my god, another terrible movie, but amazing movie, but it's terrible.
Right.
Made by Neil Breen, the Breenius as they call him. And he's this guy who spends a bunch of his own money on making films, and they're the most insane thing in the world, and they reviewed it, and it's the best review I've ever seen.
I feel like I might have heard them talk about
It's
him
really
in a
funny.
different setting.
It's really funny.
Yeah. Man, I want to invite them on the show, but I get the sense that they just sort of want to be left alone and do their thing.
Yeah, I think that they're dudes that are just. I think that they're so good at what they do, and they're so. What's the word? Like one of a kind in a way.
Yeah.
Where I would feel weird if I saw them on any other channel. You know what I'm saying?
You might be right. You might be totally right.
I think that they're so special, and cool. But I would be so, I wonder what they'd feel like if they were on another show, because I've never seen them on anything else before.
Right. Just the fact that they're from Wisconsin too, or rather, they film in Wisconsin.
Do they still?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because like. I've been in LA for like 7 years now.
Right.
Your life has taken
And
you
you're in
LA.
New York before.
Yeah, so it's just like it's it's the areas of the country with the most fake douchebaggery,
Yeah.
So-
You mean LA?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
it's like refreshing to see.
Dude, my mom, the
people just
funniest
avoid it.
person yesterday, she was buying the same like backpack as her, and she was like, oh, nice bag, we're getting the same one. He's like, yeah, and they just kind of got into conversation. She's like, what are you doing tonight? She's like, I'm going to the an Emmy after party. And my mom was like, cool, like, for what? She's like, and then Hulu, and like said Hulu. My mom was like, and my mom was like, oh, cool, like, I'm going to an after party too. And she was like, oh, for what? And my mom was like, Netflix. And she was like, oh, we don't talk about Netflix.
God damn it.
And I was like, cool.
So fucking stupid.
Cool. And then she looked down at her shoes. My mom was like, oh, I love your shoes. And she's like, thank you, they're Gianni Versacci. It's like it was like all like, you know what it feels like. You know when I meet people like that, it feels like they only have nasal passages with no mouth.
Yeah, the vocal fry, like it.
I feel like at one point they're just gonna sound like a fax machine, like.
There's something about it that it gives to me like the quality of like.
I have a lot of fun though talking to people like that because I'm like, man, like. I'm not to judge, obviously, I'm not a judger, but it's interesting to hear people talk the way that they talk from different areas, like meeting, people from a different part of New York where it's a completely different dialect. You know
right.
What I mean?
Oh, totally.
So, like, I think that's so interesting to talk to someone with that kind of voice because you're like, man, like, whoa.
But it's
so different from how I talk.
It feels not real, though. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, it feels like a cliche and like
it feels like a put on.
Yeah, and like in the House Bunny or something.
Exactly.
Like, it feels like.
And there's like a quality to it that's like, I'm so important, I can't even muster up the energy to converse with you like a normal human being.
Yeah, there's like, and like I'm better than you, obviously.
Yeah,
like
yeah. There's totally. I'm sure if she knew that she was talking to your mom, she would have been a lot cooler.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, people are standoffish sometimes.
Dude, you were in some insane shit last year. Like the idea that like
I was in the Ninja Sex Party video.
Oh, dude,
that was insane.
Thanks, brother. Thanks. But I mean, like, I never actually talked to you about it. Like, was that a fun thing to film or?
It was an honor.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you guys are like, some of my fucking heroes. So like, it was so cool to be on set with you guys.
Oh, I'm talking about it, not it.
Oh,
as in Danny said. Oh, thank you.
I was talking about that.
Thank you, motherfucker.
Oh, I was talking about that.
Oh,
it was fine too. Just kidding. Just kidding. It was amazing, man. That was probably the most fun I've ever. I mean, obviously, Stranger Things is amazing, but
yeah,
like it was a different experience because for that movie, I just got to run around for a summer and improvise. So it was all
no shit.
Like, so most of my lines are improvised in that movie.
Really?
Yeah. And
wait, did you improvise? I have to kill a fucking clown.
No, that was
the
written.
Best
I
one.
wish.
I love that shit.
Oh yeah.
Must
I know
have been so much fun.
Aaron,
to see.
didn't you guys see it like twice or something?
We did
In the theater?
Well, yeah, because it was my favorite Stephen King book growing up.
Oh, it was.
I fucking loved it.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's so fucked up.
That you read that.
Well, it scared the shit out of me as a kid. It's actually really interesting because I read it once when I was 13, which is how old the kids are.
And also, that book is like 1,000 pages.
Yeah. Well, I read it on a dare because like they were like, you can't read this book.
I read it on a dare.
I read it on a fucking dare. The bet was that I couldn't finish it in 5 days. And so I just like...
Did you finish it?
No, I finished it in 6 days.
Oh, wow.
But like, it haunted me. It was like really terrifying.
It's really, really... to put... I think that was one of the first real... Stephen King... Well, obviously, there's other indie stuff, but he's in the mainstream. I think he was one of the first guys to like really not give a shit about putting kids in danger.
Yeah.
These kids get in danger. Like, it's not talked about really. So.
And all the kids bang. And I remember thinking,
yeah, they do.
Like it's funny,
which is gnarly because it comes back. Like in the book, I'm pretty sure it intercuts between the adults and the kids.
Right.
Which is, crazy that could even be published. But nowadays, you could never get away with that. Like, there are so many movies. Like, that movie Kids?
Yeah.
That movie could never be made now. You know what I mean?
I bet you're right.
Yeah, there's so many movies and, we just took all the kind of best, most, like, charming qualities and put it into a movie because you can't, do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
There was some new stuff, too. Like, all that stuff with the flute painting lady.
Oh, yeah. That was cool. I like that.
It was creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, I remember...
I like that. I like my own movie. Isn't that nice?
Well, you should. It was a fucking good movie, and like...
Hey, hear everyone out there? I like that. I like my own movie. Isn't that cool? Like your own stuff.
Yeah, it's very cool that like you got that opportunity, and like... Was it because of Stranger Things that they approached you?
No. Okay, so that's what's weird about it is that it was kind of destined to be before Stranger Things even happened. I auditioned for Richie with a different director.
No shit.
Attached to it. And then I got the part for Richie, and then it fell through. And then I was heartbroken, and then I didn't want to act anymore, and then Stranger Things came through, and I did Stranger Things. And then... right after I wrapped Stranger Things, they're like, oh yeah, it's back with a new director. They want you to audition.
Get the fuck
So I
outta
auditioned
here.
again, did a self-tape, went out to LA, like did a chemistry read with a bunch of different kids. Me thinking that like, and Andy and Barbara, who are the masterminds behind everything, the producer, they're brother and sister, and they're from Spain. They're the sweetest people in the world. You'd love them. They're young and they're cool, and they're like the most genuine people in all of Hollywood.
That's awesome.
So like that was really cool to do. But also, I trust them in the fact that I assumed that they had seen that I had gotten Richie the year before and just come back to me, and I was like, yeah, because I was talking about it, and I was like, yeah, because the last.
Yo, Matt,
You gotta go to the airport, Finn.
Oh shit. Okay, we'll wrap it up in 30 seconds.
30 seconds. It turns out I got the part, but I got it in the sense that they didn't come back to me from that. I got it like they randomly stumbled upon my self-tape.
Go fucking figure.
Yeah.
Well, dude, it's because you had the balls to put yourself out there and go for it.
There you go.
Yeah, and that's a good lesson to anyone. Just do shit and like.
Do stuff that you love. I know that's really cliche, but
do shit as in like D-O space S-H-I-T, not do shit.
Not do shit. Yo, just do shit.
Dude, I wish we could hang out fucking more.
know.
Finn's got to go to the airport.
I love you.
Yeah, love you all. And wait, the other kid from It was a Game Grumps fan too, right?
Yeah, Wyatt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, tell him hello and he's always welcome here.
Oh, I will.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, we'll see you later. Bye. This was fun. Bye.
Bye.
Cool, dude. Yeah.